All right, man. Let's talk about Bill Simmons and somebody else was debating whether the Pistons got better or worse this offseason. And this is, pretty much what offseason shop talk is about. Um and Zach Lowe, excuse me, that's who it was. And people always look at free agency and transactions as if a team got better. But they never take into account of continuity and development. But let's listen to what they have to say. So with no further ado, let's go.
Going to disagree on that, but
I thought the trade went backwards.
I disagree with you completely. I don't understand what. Well, like so on a basic level, Schroeder out to the Kings on just a wild contract. Schroeder out, Beasley out, and maybe like out for a while, if not like for longer than a while.
Beasley literally out.
Yeah. Hardaway out. Jaden Ivey, who I think people forget is like coming back to take.
But they had him anyway, though.
But he was hurt all last year. So that's why you got Schroeder last year, is that they had this void on the team because this other guy was hurt. He's back. LeVert in, Robinson in. I think they're just better. And I think they're better because their young guys are going to continue to get better. And I specifically look at like Asar Thompson, give him a full season. Something is gonna pop there. Like I think he's got a chance to level like 2 levels up in one season. Like I think their supporting cast is better. I just think they're better.
Okay. I would agree. But until I seen the game, it's hard to say. And the number one thing he said was the development. That was the number one thing that he said. It's about the player development. That's what they banking on, the player development. Asar Thompson, Ron Hollins, Jalen Duren, who's took a step in the middle of last season. They're banking on player development. Something that people just seem not to be able to see. That's what they're banking on, player development. And that's what you're doing because you're trusting and giving these guys an opportunity to show that they can do what they can do. And really what it boils down to is everybody's playing defense on this team at a high level, including losing Schroeder and Malik Beasley. But, outside of that, you really banking on guys, body maturity and shooting the ball better. And if some of these dudes can shoot the ball better, I mean, I feel Ron is a good scorer already going to the rim. But if he can shoot the ball and, get a mid-range and some stuff like that, then I start to think you're starting to be like, oh, okay, that's what they're missing. Same thing with Asar Thompson. That's what he's missing, the ability to score and shoot the ball, at a very, 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 very high level. So that's the development. These guys rebounding, defense, they tough, they work hard. I mean, for the most part, all these guys have really, started to develop in their early 20s. They're in their early 20s. Think about that for a minute. These guys are in their early 20s. So most people just looking at, who they didn't get and who they did get. Like, dog, really, they're banking on Cade taking another step. They're banking on the SAR getting the full offseason taking a step. People starting to see in Summer League that Ron is starting to take a step. So pretty much that's where that's where you really seeing where you really want to see the development at. Really what you're trying to do is what they did last year. You're just trying to support the development of the young guys with good veterans that's going to support them and not just, compete against them for spots, but understand why they're here and help these guys be able to be better and get better. You know what I'm saying? Also by showing them how to be professionals. So when you start to, getting these, situations and you starting to see player development is the key and who you put around these guys. So, ultimately people just looking at, they didn't get Devin Booker or they didn't get Giannis, they didn't get better. I mean, really, you hoping that Giannis had to start off somewhere, right? Giannis had to start off somewhere. That's a fact. So that's pretty much what you're looking at. So I agree with Zach Lowe, but only time will honestly tell how much significantly better that they have gotten. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But they bank it on development. And this is why you draft guys. You don't draft them just not to get them a chance and do what Houston did with Cam Whitmore, and that's the problem. I feel like with a lot of men, they don't have patience to teach. The patience isn't there. They just expect you to figure it out. But no, some people can just figure it out. Honestly, some people can literally figure it out while playing. You kind of catch what I'm saying? As they play, they pick up and they get better and better and better and better and better. And some of these guys just need to play and play through mistakes. And it's 82 games. I just feel like with 82 games, you should be able to develop these young guys. It's not, win, especially if you're on a team that ain't winning. I just feel like you should be able to develop these young guys. You know what I mean? So Pistons will, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, just because they didn't go out there and make a splash, and obviously the Beasley thing hurt. That hurt significantly. It hurt. So yeah, it hurt significantly for for the squad. But ultimately, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but honestly, I agree with what he had to say on that topic, man. So I agree with Zach Lowe. I just think if I had to, give an educated guess, I feel like they got better. And I know I'm probably in a very, very short minority of people that feel that way. But a lot of these guys getting the opportunity to train for a full offseason like Asar, and it's these guys. I think Ron just turned 20. Asar is like 22, 23. I mean, shit. I think it's up. So, but we'll see. And then another year in JB Bickerstaff's system, knowing what he expect, and some of the things that little wrinkles that they gonna throw in there. So we'll see what happens. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live or drop video. Hit the link tree. You can literally find me everywhere for Instagram, Facebook, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.